Shout out to Uncommon Sense. I don't know where he got this video from, so we'll just use his video.
Famous hip-hop lyrics of the legendary hip-hop outfit NWA were scripted by a team of psychologists and war propagandists inside.
What? Yes, that's right.
Psychology lyrics of the legendary hip-hop outfit NWA were scripted by a team of psychologists and war propagandists.
Team of psychologists and war propagandists. I believe it. I believe it. When did NWA drop? 1987? I think they started the mass incarceration around 1990, right? Isn't that right? Here's Ice Cube.
Labels on the prisons. Literally, same people who own the labels own the prisons.
Same people who own the record labels own the prisons, is what he said. Really?
Same people who own the labels own the prisons.
Literally the same people?
Literally the same people who own the labels own private prisons. The records that come out are really geared to push people towards that prison industry.
But they didn't make you write those lyrics.
It's not about making somebody write the lyrics. It's about being there as guardrails to make sure certain songs make it through and certain songs don't. Some records are made by committee, meaning record company guys sit around and tell the artists, this is hot, say that, do this.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I believe it. We got played. This is just one of the scams that they ran on black Americans, and we fell for it. We got played. Of course, they had to get the fathers out of the way first. As soon as they got black women all alone at a high rate, here's your substitute daddy, gangster rap. Oh yeah, this is my personal theory. You all are free to believe what you want. And I think stuff like this further confirms what we just heard. Black Americans wasn't into this. And most people didn't peep this back in the day. Just got a straight up satanic symbol on this skateboard. Got a flipping Baphomet right there in your face. There it is. The same Baphomet that they used to represent black Americans in Wikipedia. The video is still on my channel. Oh yeah, playing games with us. And this is what I'm talking about. Leave us alone. How about that? We're being governed by people who practicing witchcraft on us. That's straight up what this is. Attempting to curse our very existence. And most definitely brainwash us. It's basically they wanted to intensify the self-hatred that was already inside of the population, the black population. They wanted to take advantage and manipulate it, sort of crank it up. They saw that was a vulnerable spot, but of course in the 60s and 70s, they saw black men trying to remove that very thing. And they say, uh-oh, we got to break up the families and basically drive black Americans to hell. That's basically what they're trying to do, to doom your soul to hell for all eternity. They feel like they're going to hell, so they may as well take us to hell with them and actually get us to lead the rest of the world to hell. They wanted black Americans to promote Satanism. Remember, this was already in heavy metal. Heavy metal was already infused with Satanism. And this is how they snuck it into rap. And understand, we don't even fully understand what they're doing. What are they doing with us? Putting curses on us. That's what. That's what. Ain't no black American, especially from my era, running around with no flipping devil skateboard. With no satanic skateboard. Are you serious? Yeah, I believe it was scripted. Let me go back to Ice Cube here.
I had this guy write the lyrics. We're gonna have that. You have, the record company pushing the narrative. Some social engineering going on here to make sure those prisons stay full.
Now, we was talking about this long time ago. And understand what they're doing is they're taking the truth and putting it out there to make it seem like, oh, well, it can't be true, or else they would try to silence it. Shut up, Ice Cube. What are you doing? But no, it don't work that way. We're dealing with people who put the truth right in your face. That's just a part of what they do. And all of these people are Satanists. Now, if that's what you into and you're not harming others, do your thing. I'm saying it's not a part of our culture. It's not a part of black American culture. Another thing I want black Americans to understand, we are probably the most pure people on earth. We probably have a bloodline that's the least tampered. The least tampered. We have the most direct and oldest bloodline. Most other people have been mixed. Mixed here, mixed there. You mixed with this, you mixed with that, you mixed with that. And on down the line, you mixed with that. But slavery and being over here ensured that our bloodline stayed intact. We only reproduced with other black Americans. Scratch all that Africa stuff. I'm not trying to hear that. Europeans could not afford expeditions that massive at that time. You wouldn't have needed slavery if you could afford such expeditions. Nobody else was doing that. We were forced to constantly mate with each other. I believe we have the strongest blood. And understand the value of bloodline, which most black people don't. Remember, throughout history, they have made it a point to destroy particular bloodlines. ODB. That's not the only case. They understand bloodline and the importance of maintaining your blood on this earth long after you leave this earth. But of course, our women don't value bloodline. Many blacks just don't value bloodline. And the fact is, we're at a point now where intermixing is inevitable. There's no way that we can keep this up. I'm telling you, this government does a lot of things with us in mind primarily. Now, what else did we get from this fraudulent goofball gangster rap? I told y'all before, listen to this. Listen to this. And I made a short video about this as well. Listen to the lyrics.
Ain't no hope when every nigga wants to be the 9 miller on the trigger.
That's a song by Eazy-E called The Black Nigga Killer. Yeah, it sounds like a scripted song. The Black Nigga Killer. Black nigga? I grew up around black Americans using the word nigga. I used to use it. Every day. Nigga this, nigga that. I've never heard any black person say black nigga. I've never heard that phrase from a black person in my life. We don't talk like that. And he has a song on their album, Black Nigga Killer. Too many questionable things here. Now, what was the point in doing all this? To fuel the prisons and the graveyards. A lot of people forget to mention the graveyard. They want to fuel the graveyard too. Mass incarceration era began in the 1970s. What else took place around that time? Single motherhood. They didn't waste no time. Mass incarceration. Get them prisons built. And even the AI overview says it was the result of a deliberate policy to increase the prison population. Look at this. In 2022, the prison population increased by 2%. The U.S. has more than 20% of the world's prison population, despite making up only 5% of the global population. The consequences of mass incarceration disproportionately affect people of color. Also take into consideration how much more littered with crime non-U.S. cities are. They have a much higher crime rate than us. Yeah, we got played. And it's real slick how they did it. Got the fathers out the home and then started to feed this into society. This is why you need fathers. This is why black fathers are more important than ever right now. And I don't want to hear no lecture about black men leaving their families. I don't want to hear none of that. Not even a partial discussion about black men running out on their families. We have concrete proof from black women themselves that they are the ones who leave relationships. The exception is the man leaving his family, his kids. That's not the rule. The rule is them leaving both relationships and marriages. We got stats now. Needed fathers to protect the family from stuff like this. Oh, you got a new NWA record? I don't think so. Trash that. So they in there getting brainwashed with this killer nigga music. And then comes drill. And understand, drill was also invested into. The major record labels jumped on drill immediately. 2012. And then they make it, oh, look at all these coincidences. Then they make it illegal to charge somebody based on something they wrote in a rap that they put in a song. Oh, really? And then, just coincidentally, You got top-ranking military officials hauling military-grade weapons to Chicago and just dropping them off, selling them, let me correct myself, selling them to Chicago gangs, many of which were kids. Fathers, more important at all times, no matter what era you're talking about. But when the black population was under attack like this, they were using psychologists, dangerous stuff beyond your comprehension, black woman. And I don't think there's no reversing this. I mentioned before, there are a bunch of white supremacists who are going after Asian women. They've given up on white American women. Given up on them. Also consider the fact that they had these two puppets promoting drill. Puppets. Don't need to say much about Adam 22, and DJ Academics is a tether, a Jamaican tether, ready and willing to operate against our best interests. And it really makes me uncomfortable. Also, I'm not even going to go there. But I don't like seeing certain people cool with Adam 22 and DJ Academics. I'll put it like that. Because these two irrefutably are puppets. They with them people. Masons and all that. And they were the top promoters of drill. May have been some others. They're plants. They're ops. Same with that guy, Trap Lore. What is it? Trap Lore or something? Little rainbow, skinny rainbow dude. Got his face all in the camera. He's about 2 inches from the camera. Always yapping about drill rappers and gang life in Chicago. He's a puppet. He's a plant. There's no reason why this should even be legal. Or they getting on records, getting in the booth, rapping about real homicides. And publishing it in record stores. Posting it on YouTube, uploading them to YouTube. No censoring, no nothing. They on their video with guns, all types of guns throughout their videos, talking about how they'll shoot somebody, sending out threats. I will blow your head off. And it's all okay. Notice they let that slide. Whenever it has to do with us doing things involved in behavior, which they are encouraging, behaving in a self-destructive way, they are all for that. Think about that. You got these drill rappers like Lil Durk who rap about, like the hits they make. And he was allowed, look at how long they let Durk fester. I suspect Durk has had something to do with other things. But they let it ride because he's, doing his thing. They let the Chicago War, they influenced that, encouraged that, they instigated all of that. There's also evidence of even more instigating and causing gang beefs and whatnot. See, only black Americans got to deal with this type of dynamic. We're the only ones that has this added pressure on us. And I don't want to hear nothing about how other races of people listen to drill. It's not a part of their culture. They're not Black American. They're not going to look at the music and those artists the same way young Black people look at them. Our youngsters look at it as that's my culture. That's what I'm supposed to grow into. That's what's going to get me the women. That's what's going to get me the attention. That's what I'm expected to be. So that's what I'm going to be. At the end of the day, we're just organisms that usually and primarily gravitate towards whatever our environment is leading us to. They invested heavily into gangster rap. Heavily. And it was allowed to fester. But they weren't even satisfied with that. They got to the point where they wanted to promote real gangsters. And notice how that became the selling point. Success was dependent on whether or not you actually deleted someone. And if we can look in the news, if we can check the news and find out that the deaths that you mention in your raps are real, then you blow up. Now they're calling you, time to go on tour, time to get a record deal. That's the path to success, to delete Black males, other Black males, and brag about it, mock it, laugh at it like it ain't nothing, which is exactly what the Klan used to do. Celebrate, throw a party, pass around our body parts. They've finessed, and basically now you have kids. They're so brainwashed and possessed by the music, and they are. They're possessed. When you put lyrics over drums, it is now magic. That's why y'all don't care what these rappers are saying, as long as it's over a tight beat. They're sitting up talking about their desire to blow people's brains out. Constantly talking about murder and homicide. You sitting there bopping your head and dancing. Why? Because it got a good beat. And the rapper is skilled at placing his words over the beat. The perfect way to brainwash you. Again, that's why they used to get rappers and musicians, R&B singers, to promote stuff like Pepsi and Nike and so forth. Music is magic. You protect your music. You don't let anybody influence your music. But they got us. It's a wrap. Now we too dumb. Too late now. You have to play catch up. And that's why, sadly, there is really no Black community. There's no Black community. What are we left to do? Now, like I was saying, many of these white supremacist males, they've given up on white American women. They're planting their seed elsewheres. And that might be what Black men have to do. Or at least let me say productive Black men. Black males and females will never stop copulating and reproducing. You're going to always have the inner city Black males and the inner city Black females. They grow up together, they go to school together, right next door together, across the street from each other. It's impossible to even, to think that that's possible. It's not possible. But what I do see happening is that the productive Black men, they're running away from Black women like the plague. The Black men, not even, and when I say productive, I'm just talking about the Black men who hold down jobs, who live a legal lifestyle, just working and taking good care of himself. That's a productive Black man. You don't have to be rich. So that's the everyday black man. 1 in 4 black women get married. The statistics on black relationships, you can't compare it to no other group. So the way it's looking now, it's a wrap. You can forget about maintaining your bloodline like a normal person. No matter what you do, no matter what we do, we cannot exist like normal people anymore. We don't have a nation. You need communities. You need a nation and control of your own culture to maintain your bloodline. And the fact that black Americans, is sad, have lost all value. We don't value. Now you might find some here and there, but we don't value the maintenance of our bloodline at all. And sadly, that might be the route. Because listen, it is more important for you as a black man to be happy. Many of us just want to come home from work to a peaceful home and a peaceful woman who treats us well and looks out for us. If she's working, say, a part-time job, right? Even if she's working a part-time job, let's say, hey, you just cover the electric bill, right? You cover the electric bill and the phone bills. I handle the rent and everything else. And you keep this house clean. You know, couples work out deals like that and negotiate like that. Can't even do that. Because even those types of black men who you could have that type of life with, they're running away from black women like the plague. More now than ever in history. I'm telling you, we are at the crossroads. For black American women, it's now or never. You better get your little hashtags and movements popping, or else you're going to continue to die alone and we're going extinct. Simple as that. It's only a matter of time. Y'all going to have to practice self-discipline, and you're going to have to throw yourselves at the feet of black men if you want to survive on this earth. Oh yes. No more of this backbone of the community sassiness. Y'all need to humble yourselves and get behind the leaders. Do that or perish. There ain't no other option for you, because y'all not about to just go out and get you an Enrique. They're not checking for y'all like that. And as a group, y'all have issues that need to be dealt with as a group. Serious mental and emotional issues. Before any man of any race would really want something serious with you. But you know what? Again, I don't see that happening. Because for the most part, black women themselves, they don't want to be a wife. They don't want to be married. They don't want a family. No surprise then that they're responsible for the breakup of the black families. I don't want to hear nothing. They did not have to take food stamps, Section 8 vouchers. We would have survived. We would have survived. Under no circumstances do you break up the family. Do you get rid of the father, the most important parent? Well-established kids turn out to be more productive when they're with their father. We see what growing up with a single mother will do to you, both the boys and the girls. So nothing has changed. My prediction remains Black Americans are on a path to extinction, and it's too bad. I don't want to see, I value black men. I value black men as a black man. So automatically, I would prefer to see us remain on this earth and our bloodline to stay on this earth. But the bottom line is, our women have been too damaged. We can't cooperate with them. They can't even be nice to you. Can't even be respectful to us. That's like the basics of a relationship, to be polite and respectful and considerate. And that's just the tip of the iceberg. I don't even like to reflect on our current position in the world and, project into the future based on how we're doing right now. We're not doing too well right now as a people. Our survival is in question. But listen, I'm living the life of avoiding black women. I've been doing it since my last relationship with a black woman was 2005. Almost 20 years ago. And even that one keyed my vehicle, lied, almost got me fired and arrested. And there was never any real respect going on. When it was time to be serious, and this is with all my relationships, when it's time to be serious, except for one. I had one black female who was, she was extremely nice. But even the ones that are extremely nice, they still have this, they look down on you. They don't respect you as much as they respect other men. And that's something black men just got to deal with. But black men, men in general, will dismiss race. And they will say, look, I just want a woman I can come home to, and there's peace and cooperation in the home. And to help take some of this stress off of me. I have no objections at all to black men dating interracial. And being honest, I have to admit, the black men in my family who have white girlfriends, they're not their girlfriends, they're their wives. And they have families. And they've been together for years, and it don't look like they're gonna break up no time soon. And I'm saying, I got more than 3 black male family members like that. I cannot say the same about the black female family members that I have. They've had white boyfriends. Some of them had white husbands. None of them worked out. So, sad and unfortunate reality, but that's where we stand. And I don't want to hear nothing about black female bashing. Black women themselves need to be talking about this. They need to be talking about this more than I am. But again, the thing is, they don't want to lose that weight. They're not serious about losing weight. They're not serious about showing respect, being cooperative. They're not serious about being under black men's leadership. They are just as allergic to that as they were in the 70s when they were fresh off being indoctrinated by feminists. That's something that hasn't changed. They hate for black men to be in a position of, the shot caller, the leader, which again is what? Backwards. And that right there, that backwardness, is what Baphomet and Satanism is all about. Look at yourself. You're a direct product of your masters. So snap out of it or perish. And I'll leave it there.